Genetics are real. It's a near statistical certainty that you won't become the next MREC. Just like how different people are talented at various subjects or sports, the same thing applies to OS. Genetically, there is a limit you can reach through a combination of physical and mental factors. However, using genetics as an excuse for not improving at OS is the largest cope in the history of the game. Improvement is ultimately not limited by genetics. Now, did you notice the word choice I used in the first sentence? Near statistical certainty. It's also a near statistical certainty that there's another MREC out there who hasn't even heard of OS. You, or someone watching this video, could be the next MREC. You never know your limits until you try. Who knows? Perhaps you'll become the next OS Rhythm Champion. Number 2, confidence will get you insanely far. This is a pure mindset improvement hack. The player who believes they can do something will almost always beat the player who thinks they cannot. Whitecat said it best when confronted with a doubter in his chat.
No, you can't. Early in the chat someone said I can't FC Road of Resistance with Hard Rock. Then I just did it. Like, that's just a pussy mindset. I can do whatever I want. But that's just the people who will never achieve anything. Whether it be in OSU or in real life. So yeah, mindset is basically everything, not only in OSU. Look, that's what I'm talking about. I don't care about your shitty opinion, Frosty boy. You're just a loser.
There's a slight asterisk on that. It needs to be realistically optimistic. You can't have a top play of 300 PP and say to yourself, I'm going to set a 700 PP play today. Let's say you get a 3 misplay on a map you've been practicing though. The full combo is within reach. If you truly believe you can clutch the score and close out the FC, you're far more likely to improve and actually do it. Be careful, as that same logic works in reverse. Berate yourself for not being good enough or that you'll never FC, and your chances of securing the score go down the drain with your enjoyment and passion for the game. The power of mental reframing is amazing if given a real opportunity to shine. Number 3, becoming a top player doesn't mean you'll become popular. Take a moment to consider this. There are top 100 players you've never heard of before. Gaining notoriety purely off rank alone requires reaching the top 50, and even then, popularity is so much more fickle than having a high rank. Pivoting over to content creation can be easier since the barrier of entry doesn't require being the best at the game, but it's still not simple. And that doesn't consider complications like getting a flat tire and delaying a video by a week while handling the repair process. I totally wouldn't know what that's like. You should be playing the game for reasons that pertain to your enjoyment, whether that's competitive rankings, going for unique scores, hard passes, etc. Chasing fame through trying to become a top player or content creator will only lead to disappointment unless you have the right mindset and expectations. The same concept applies for mapping as well. Just replace top player with ranking numerous maps. Number 4, OS is almost exclusively an aim game. While tapping is an important component, by far the most valuable skill to possess in OS is aim. Every single map in the game is an aim map of some form. Stream maps require speed and stamina, yes, but you're failing the map if you cannot flow aim the streams properly. Alt and tech maps also fall underneath the aim umbrella, requiring more precise control than standard jump maps. The best players to ever touch the game cemented their status by having the best aim. MREC is the chief example of this in the current day. Even players where the first thing you think about are something else other than their raw aim, they all have incredibly strong aim foundations. For example, Cookiezi is more well known for his flow aim and stamina scores, but he was literally called the aim spook back in his prime. He played jump spam maps that were ridiculous for the time and are still hard today, giving him unprecedented aim to set scores no one was capable of touching. Modern contemporaries include a Colibed and a Secret Box, who have scarily good raw aim. A Secret Box's top play is a hidden double time FC on a 7-star diff of the new Zetsubo Plantation, in stark contrast to his hidden FC on Astral Empire, his highest non-DT PP score. Aim is, and has always been, the fastest way to become the best. As a direct consequence of OS being exclusively an aim game, aim will always be meta. There are exponentially more maps available to people with strong aim mechanics compared to anything else. Even if aim gets nuked, which has been tried before, it doesn't work because people can find maps with bursts in them to circumvent the harshest nerfs. This doesn't make flow aim, streams, or speed worthless though. Performance is not zero-sum. Until you reach the absolute top of the rankings, you can realistically play any skill you want to gain PP without issue. Number 5. OS is not super mainstream, and its reputation isn't great. While the game has transformed from being completely underground to something people are potentially familiar with from a TikTok or two, it has in no way captured mainstream appeal. The community is still relatively small, especially in the mapping world. This is worth keeping in mind when you share OS with people who don't play the game. Their only perception of the game, if they have one, is likely from watching Zerillic's headset spontaneously combust, a rabbit hole short, or a family-friendly background with absolutely no ulterior motives. Don't be offended if any of the above are what people talk about without knowing much about the game, like, for example, your friends. You can be their first point of contact and show them a bunch of cool plays, hype tournament moments, or huge mapping projects. One of the many highlights of this community is how consistently passionate it has remained over nearly 2 decades. It's not weird to be passionate about something, and the game, along with yourself, will not be branded as off-putting or weird discussing it in such a way. There's a lot to love here. Number 6. The fastest way to improve is by one-tricking a skill set. A common pattern with the highest ranked players that have the lowest playtime is that they play an unusually low amount of unique maps. This is partly because they simply haven't played enough to have more maps under their belt, but mostly because they focused all their energy at improving at one thing. If achieving the highest rank is your goal, spam all the DT mechanics maps that you can. Conversely, this works for any skill set too. Low AR reading, precision, tech maps, alt, etc. The reason why DT mechanics, specifically aim, is the chief skill of choice is because aim supports everything, as described in the previous points. Aim is reading, and reading skill is the best indicator of a player's skill level. You can always push your skill cap higher and then go back and fix the consistency issues later. Like I said in the precision video, it's far easier to refine the skill you already have compared to increasing your skill ceiling. Number 7. It takes an equal amount of time to improve at mapping as it does to improve at playing. While this one sounds out of left field, a somewhat common occurrence within the community when players hit a skill wall is opening the editor and trying to rank a map. Mapping looks simple on the surface, but there's so much that goes into it, and I'm not even beginning to include all of the socializing and networking required to see any semblance of success. Seriously improving at mapping takes a significant amount of time. It can be years before you feel like a competent mapper. Mapping can be incredibly rewarding, but only if you invest the required time in it. If your goal is to become the best at something, choose either mapping or playing. Attempting to balance them both while taking them both seriously will handicap your ability to excel at either one. This does not mean you can't play competitively and map for fun on the side, or vice versa. Number 8. Getting a permanent injury from OS is from lack of restraint and poor technique. Injuries are all too common at the top level. The act of getting a single injury is not the issue, since you can be playing the game normally and then suddenly something pops up. The problem ensues when you don't listen to the pain from your body and continue pushing. This is an easy trap to fall into, especially as a top player, since you've seen the high potential that you can reach if only your body would cooperate with you. Don't subscribe to the idea that pain is weakness leaving the body, and that you will lose all of your progress by taking a break. Listen to your body. It's telling you to stop for a reason. Continuing beyond this point without a break means you risk permanently injuring yourself, and you'll never be able to play at the same level again. Your options are either take a temporary break now and play again in the future, or play in the present and never be able to play again without pain. OS is not worth any permanent injury. Now for the most important OS truth, subscribing to me will result in a new top play. Don't forget to like the video on your way down if it gave you a new perspective, join my Discord, and if you really enjoyed, join as a channel member to further support the channel. Thanks for watching.